South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, is to be charged with 16 counts of corruption and money laundering. It follows a month after he resigned as president. Eleni Giakos is in Cape Town for us tonight. These are historical allegations concerning arms deals back in the 1990s. What's he alleged to have done?
I mean, this is what is so fascinating about it. We know that Jacob Zuma has been protected during his presidency, over the last 8 years or so. And these original charges were dropped in 2009, Richard, just before he became president, hanging over the presidency for such a long time. And now finally, the National Prosecuting Authority coming in and saying there's enough evidence, there's enough of a case to prosecute Jacob Zuma. Remember, this is the guy that we've called the Teflon president, surviving numerous new corruption scandals swirling around him again for such a long time. And this isn't the only thing that he's going to face down the line. An investigation into the so-called state capture and the capture of Jacob Zuma is also currently underway. And it seems that this could be the nail in the coffin for him, Richard.
OK, if convicted, one assumes that there would be a serious, and I say it's a big if, there would be a serious term of imprisonment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is what everyone has been saying, that, Jacob Zuma getting his day in court and getting his time in jail. But we're also talking about a man that has been so good at delay tactics and getting his defense team, ready to fight as much as possible and delaying as much as possible so that it just carries on for, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. But he's going to have money to do that. OK, now, let's talk. The reaction in South Africa to this. There was jubilation when he finally resigned and Sir Ramaphosa took over. But, I guess, is there an element of schadenfreude that he's now going to be prosecuted? Or will there be an ANC hardcore that says no? Yeah, I mean, look, the ANC also doesn't want to look weak, and it's stuck between a rock and a hard place, because at the end of the day, the ANC does have this black mark against it because it allowed Jacob Zuma to get away with so much for such a long time. At the other end, it's got to bring credibility back to the judiciary, and that's going to be just as important, where Jacob Zuma has to pay for what he did. And a lot of money has been lost in the process, Richard. I mean, just his defense team, just defending Zuma within the presidency has cost South Africa around $2 million. And many say it could be, just double that. So lots of positive reaction, and people on the ground are hoping to see the man behind bars.
Pravin Gordhan was on the programme earlier in the week, and we were talking about the minister, and he was saying how difficult it's going to be dealing with the state capture. But is there a feeling that even though Ramaphosa was the number 2 with Zuma, that this government is determined to clean up a mess that maybe they should have not let happen in the first place, but at least they're getting on doing something about it?
Yeah, well, you've got a new chief in town. You've got Cyril Ramaphosa, speaking, talking the talk, saying that he's going to clean up. But it's something we've heard before. But remember, Richard, the people at the top within the important ministerial positions are people we've known before. We've seen them before. We're hoping that this is going to be a new dawn, like the president says, a new ANC fighting corruption. And it's got to be, we've got to see the proof. State capture, there've got to be results and consequences. You spoke to Pravin Gordhan after, during that interview. I spoke to him afterwards, and he said, Eleni, it's going to be really tough because we've got to get rid of people as well as finding where the money has gone and bringing it back to the country. So it's going to be a tough task, Richard, and everyone is watching, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen quickly.
Got it. Eleni, have a good weekend. Thank you very much indeed.